Hey everyone,
Welcome to another edition of Things They Don't Tell You When You Get Married.
welcome.
Do you want to hold the mic?
If you want. You don't like the way I hold it though, do you?
I have no issue or complaints with how you hold it.
Cool.
Oh, you have to excuse us, we're a bit tired today. Been a big week of weddings, hasn't it?
It has.
Been nice weddings. We've had lots of good weddings. We had a cracker of a wedding out at Brunel Lodge this week with Jess and Jacob.
Yeah, that was great fun.
That was a really fun wedding. Every now and then we'll have a wedding that all weddings are great, and we do, but some weddings are fun, and it's just
Yeah, the light was just perfect, wasn't it?
yeah. And the sunset was like, oof, just a fun day. So that was really good. Yeah, so what are we talking about today?
Contrast and colour. So we'd like people to be more, what's the word? Mindful, direct with their choices for colour when they get married.
Yes.
So what wedding dress, what bridesmaids dresses, think about the colour. So if you're thinking bridesmaids dress, for example, blue, and you're getting married on a beach with the blue ocean, it's not really going to contrast well because it's just going to be blue sky, blue ocean, and you're going to kind of get lost in the background.
Yeah, so the art of a good photo is all about contrast. And there's two schools of thought around that. So if you know the colour wheel, if you don't, Google colour wheel. And that will show you how colours interplay with each other and what contrasts and what is complementary and what is contrasting. So as a rule of thumb, you don't particularly want to pick colours that are kind of side by side in the colour wheel, say orange and pink. You want to look for more colours that are opposite each other in the colour wheel or in the same family. So if you are getting married on the beach, you could still have a blue dress, but don't pick a blue that's the same color as the ocean. Go for a navy. Go for a darker color. So you're always looking for that contrast element in your photos.
What about green, like what you're wearing for bridesmaids? It's a nice colour, but what about with if you're getting married in the forest? How would that look?
You're going to lose your bridesmaids in the photo, that is. So it's a lot harder to pop. I think if you are really wanting you and your partner to pop and in your bridal party photos, then do that because you will most certainly be the center of attention. But if you want to showcase the bridesmaid dresses and you choose this color and you're doing your photos in the forest, then you're not going to get the effect that you're looking for because you're going to blend in too much to the green. Just how it is. So I think some of the nicest weddings we've ever done color wise has definitely been the pastel colors. Would you say? Like I find like
I personally, I like the more sort of classical
yeah, you're
look.
definitely a black suit and tie type of man, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. But what
And a
about for
white
the
ready
girls?
dress. I like. People are probably not like this, but I like kind of like this behind this backdrop, kind of
That's
striking.
red's your favorite color.
Yeah, I'd love to do a red wedding dress for sure. Never done that, and that will pop against anything.
Yeah, it will actually. It really will. Dramatic, big train, fitted bodice. Yeah,
Yeah.
be amazing.
So more sort of maroon. I've liked for the bridesmaids. So this is just my. Your preference might be different.
I
There's
like
no
the
wrong or right.
pastels. The sage green
Yeah.
is really nice. The dusky pink is really nice. We've seen someone's. It's just more when you get into the emerald green and you're getting married outside in grass or trees. It's a lot. I've literally been editing a gallery today, and I've had to put a lot more work into the edit to make them pop. That would just be and then you look at the whole aesthetic of the wedding too. So you go into your reception venue, and if you've got we spoke about this in our last podcast, just fairy lights, or the venue has older lighting that is orange, your photos, it's a lot harder to get pretty white, bright photos in there. You just kind of get this orange hue to everything. And so that's something to us. I actually asked one of our venues that we shoot at quite often if they could change the light bulbs in their cabins.
Get rid of those horrible orange
Because
ones.
they're just orange and they're warm, and I get the warm light is quite soothing, but for photos, they're not very. effective, I'd say. So, yeah, just think about your colours. Think about, like, Google the colour wheel. If you're getting married in a barn, anything with wood is always going to throw a lot of orange. So mark that on your colour palette as like more of an orange tone, and then work from there in terms of your contrasting. So, and then with your decor too. So obviously white always pops against anything as well. If you're getting married in a function room, it tends to be a lot cooler and a lot whiter and brighter. So mark that on your colour wheel and then go opposite or complementary with that. So really, yeah, the colours play a large, really, really important part in the overall effectiveness of how pretty the picture. So makeup definitely plays a huge role in colours as well. I just like one of the things I think we struggle as photographers with is how your makeup looks through the camera, and that plays a big part too. And I mean, I think you can get makeup that to the eye looks a certain way, but then how it looks through the camera is also is a different way. And sometimes it can err a little bit much on the orange if there's too much contour, or the foundation maybe just has that orange hue to it. And then add that to a venue, say a wooden venue or a darker venue or a venue that has warm lights, and you are just like, yeah, and if you have a fake tan as well, super, super orange. So things like that to think about. A lot of times when you do your trial as well for your makeup is a little bit different to when you're actually getting ready. You may not be in the same location, you may not be in the same venue. So if you're getting your makeup done in like an on-site cabin, you might have your trial done at your house, or you might go to their studio, which generally has really great lights. And often your makeup is being done under a beauty light, which is quite a cool light as well.
Yeah.
So you don't actually see the full effect till you're in your venue, or you get your photos back, and it looks very different to how your trial looked and to how it looks even on an iPhone. Because if the makeup artist will take you to where the best natural light is, or they'll shoot through their beauty light, so it's a different look. So they're really important things to keep in mind too. And obviously basic colour principles, if you're wearing a pink dress and you've got red lipstick on, going to have a bit of colour clashing happening there too. Yeah, and then bouquets obviously tie in with your theme, and and that's another thing. I think bouquets that have really, like, just say a red, white and blue bouquet, unless you're having like a red, white and blue theme, think about your colours is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. That's our message today, isn't it? Think about the colours. And I had the word on the tip of my tongue. Be decisive with what you want.
Decisive, or is that the word?
Intentional.
Be intentional, yeah. Mindful.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But just think about it.
Think about it. Talk to your photographer too. Just send through your colours. Say, hey, do you think this will work? Send through your venue. Go and look at your venue at night time. See what lights they have. Ask them how old their lights are. Things like that too. So there's a really so if you're having video, so there's Australian lights and then there's overseas lights, and they each flicker differently, don't they?
Yeah, it just depends what the frequency rate is. So especially fairy lights. So this is more for video. It doesn't matter for photos so much, but for video, they can be on all different frame rates, and it can be hard to find the correct rate where it doesn't flicker. So what will happen is you get this kind of pulsing effect on camera if you don't get it right. Yeah.
And that comes down to the lights too. So it's another thing to just keep in mind. Yeah. And but the videographers should be able to work around that too, because we've had some tricky situations and we've worked around it. And even in post, we've been able to work around it. But it all affects the output and the colour, doesn't it?
It does happen. I tell a lie. It does happen with photography sometimes. One particular venue happens with, and you get these big black lines on the photos, but that's something we have to overcome, isn't it?
So we switched to mechanical shutter.
Yeah, people won't know what that means.
Oh, okay.
So we won't get too technical.
We've got ways of overcoming that if we know that that's happening. So And worst comes to worst, if it's too dark, we'll shoot with flash on. But we don't generally like to shoot with flash during a ceremony.
No.
Because the last thing you want while you're saying your vows is these big pops of light going off.
Yeah.
But if we have to, we will, to get those memories for you. Yeah, so it's a bit of a short and a sweet one today, but it's more, we just wanted to pop on and pop in, pop on, pop off, whatever, and say that your colour and your aesthetic play a big part in your pretty photos. Research the colour wheel, have a look at your colours, look at your venue, look for contrast. So good photo is contrast. It doesn't just have to be colour. It's, you know, taking something unexpected and putting them in a situation where you wouldn't expect them to be is contrast. It can be colour, it can be texture, it can be location. Anything that provides contrast tells a story in a photo, and it pulls the eye of the viewer into the photo and engages with it. We always like to tell our team is that you need to shoot better than what you could shoot on an iPhone. So when I say that, is generally when we have our phones, we just hold it up and we just click it. So we don't often look for contrast, or we don't look for like putting our subjects in places which create contrast. We're just capturing memories straight out with our phones. So with the photography side, it's more of a craft and an art, in that we have like 100 things going through our head for one photo, all designed to work together to create that one pretty photo.
Yep.
Yeah. You look so
Agree.
tired, you poor thing.
Yep. I'm good.
Yeah. Big weekend weddings.
Yes.
Yeah.
A big week coming up.
Looking forward to it.
I am. Can't wait.
We've got some good ones this weekend. Every wedding's a good one though.
It is.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
Anyway,
I
guys,
think it's
well-
nap time.
Yep. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you